So right now what I am telling you is that how to use XPath to detect elements. Fine. And question being asked is, how do I go to the HTML page? Well, you can go to the HTML page in two ways. Either you can right click on the page and go to view source. You will get the complete page source of HTML, right? Or you can go use Firebug. I'm using Firebug out here. Okay. Now, this is the para tag where I have to reach. Everything starts from HTML tag. Inside this tag there is a body tag. Inside the body tag there is a division tag, right? So I'll make my XPath like this, that it is a HTML tag, then there is a body tag, then there is a division tag. Again, in the division tag, which is this division, right? There are two divisions. I want to go into the second division. Okay, so now to go inside the second division, I'll have to write div 2. Okay, instead of going for the first, I'll have to write div 2. Again, in the second division there are again two divisions. One is class sign in, one is class product in for email. So I have to go into the second division again. And inside that the para tag lies. Inside that there are many parallel tags. Among that one is the para tag. So this will be the XPath. Okay. Now this is a complete XPath. Okay. Just guys, I think somebody from class is pinging me. Okay. So this is the complete HTML XPath. Sorry, not HTML. Yeah, you can say HTML XPath as well. And you can use this XPath to detect the element. So similarly, I can make an XPath like this for every element. Fine. But there's a problem with this XPath. The problem is that it starts from the root of the page. Okay. Now, if anything changes in between it, the number of this, the developer does some changes and all, the number of this division changes or something changes, then not even this XPath, all the XPaths of a page will be changed. And I'll have to actually go into my project and do very big changes in XPath and correct my scripts, right? So this kind of XPath we refrain from using it. Okay, there are two types of XPaths. One is this one is known as absolute XPath, or you can also say complete XPath. Okay, this starts from the base of the HTML document. Right now, there is something known as partial XPath. Okay, now partial XPath, right? To use that, first of all, install, go to Google and type Firepath. It's an add-on for, again, it's an add-on for Firefox. It is the add-on on the top of Firebug. Okay, it is the add-on which is on the top of Firebug. So make sure that Firebug is installed on your machine before installing this add-on. So I'll go to Firepath and I'll add the Firepath into Firefox, right? So it is adding and install now and restart. Right. Now, if you go to Gmail, in your Firebug, you will see a new add-on out here on the right side Firepath. This will tell you the XPath of the element. Suppose I go over this element now. See, it is giving you the same XPath which I need. So you don't have to make it yourself, but you can make through Firepath. Okay. Now, sometimes, like for the username field, just a minute. For the username field, if you look at it, it gives you this kind of XPath. Okay. Now I again tell that this kind of XPath we refrain from use. This is known as absolute XPath or complete XPath, right? We generally use a partial XPath. Okay. Now, in order to generate that, make sure that in Firepath you have generate absolute XPath option turned off. Okay, you have to turn it off, and now remove your window over the username. You will get this //star@ID equals to email. Right now, if you look at this thing, what does this mean? // it means that it's a partial XPath. Okay, that is, it is not starting from the base of the document, that is HTML. Star means any tag on the page, whether it's an input tag, select tag, any tag whose ID is email, right? Any tag whose ID is email. Fine. Now, instead of star, you can also generalize it. You can write it like this. There is an input tag whose ID is email. Fine. So if you look at this username field, the ID is email. And suppose if I go to a website like in.redis.com. Fine. Okay. Now out here, if you look at the Firebug, and suppose I look at the sign in link, I get an XPath like this. Now it says that there is an element sign-in info @ID /A1. That means inside it there is a link. Now this anchor tag has got no ID. So what Firebug does is that it moves one step up. It finds a span. The span has got an ID. So it is saying that a span with the ID sign-in info /A1. That means there is a span, inside it there is a link. Similarly, if you look at any other website as well, you will get partial XPaths like this. For example, quicker.com. You will see that if I look at the XPath of, say, this element, astrology, numerology, or whatever it is, like business office, if I look at this, then it's got an XPath like this, that there is a division or some element with the ID expand1325. If you look at this, this is a division with this ID. Inside this division, that is this particular division, there is a URL tag which is coming over here. Inside the URL tag, there are many li tags. Right? I'm interested in li5. So li5 and /a, a link tag inside the fifth li element. Right? So you can also make partial XPath. This is the partial XPath. If you look at the complete XPath, then you will get a very big XPath for this element. If I go for full XPath, then this is the one, right? This is the one. So that's how it is done. That's how it's made, right? Now, if I have to use an XPath, for example, I have to write into an email field using the XPath, then in that case, you have to write, after going to Gmail, driver dot find element by, you select the option XPath, okay, and you give the XPath to use, and this will be your web element username again. Okay, and you import this, right, web element username, and you write over here username dot send keys hello. This will type in hello inside the username field. Many times, okay, I don't write star over here because it says that any element with the ID email. Suppose there is a drop list or a button with the ID email, then the code can fail, right? So always mention the tag name and all, everything, like a tag name to the tag name called input whose ID is in. If you give star over here, it is not that Selenium is going to give you error or something, right? But you give the tag name. It's a good practice. What?
Yeah, I just want to interrupt. So you are saying that we need to generally put like input rather than star, right? Just to know that it should only click on the particular element on the web page.
Yeah.
But in the previous classes we were also saying that the ID is something which is unique,
Yeah.
right? So if it is unique and if I am putting star, it will work.
It will work 99% of the time, but sometimes what happens is that the developers, suppose what they do, they make two elements on a page, a button and a text field, and give them the same ID. It happens many times, right? So in that case, you will have to use the tag name and all that.
Okay. So if it's a button, the tag name would be button, right? Instead of input, but
It will be input again, but how to differentiate, I'll tell you.
okay,
Again.
yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Now, now one more thing, people which they make the mistake, when they copy the XPath from here in Firebug, they also copy this dot. Don't make this dot as the part uh, the part of your code. Okay, just keep this much. Fine. Okay. Now, similarly, I can also get the XPath for the password field. I can write here, or let me get the XPath for this link can't access your account. This is the link. It's got a anchor tag A with the ID link forgot password, right? So I'll copy this XPath, go here and forget password, and I will paste the XPath out here. Okay, So that's the link. Okay, you need to click on the link. So you write ft dot click. Okay, so this will click on forget password link, and before that it will type hello in the username. Right? If you run this, hold on. So yes, your Gmail page has opened and it has clicked on the can't access your account as well. Okay, so this is a general workflow. Okay, now for every element interaction I am writing two lines. Instead of writing two lines for interacting with one element, I can put the whole story in one line as well. If I write driver.find element by the X path and I give the X path out here, directly in front of you put a dot and you write send keys in one line. What will happen is that execution starts from the left side. First it executes this part and it finds the element, and then on the element it sends the keys. Similarly, you can write like this as well, dot click. Fine. So you really don't need to write two lines of code for one element interaction, one line. Okay. So if you run this, okay, so it is doing that. Fine. Now I'll close this. Now the thing is, I'll again open Mozilla Firefox, which is open when you run with Selenium. You will observe that this Firefox is very different. It's got no Firebug installed in it. It's got no bookmarks which you have in your regular Firefox browser. Okay, it is quite different than the one which is normally opened when you open Firefox of your own machine. Right? Now this is because of the concept of profiling of Firefox browser by Selenium. Okay. Now I'll tell you the profiling concept. Okay. But why am I teaching you right now this is because if you're making big scripts and if the script fails in between, then you want to investigate the page source on the browser on which the page script is executing. Okay, hold on. For example, I had gone to Gmail field, and if I am unable to click on the can't access your account, I want to use Firebug on this Firefox now, and I want to investigate this link. I cannot do that because I cannot see Firebug out here. Okay, I cannot see Firebug out here. To see that, I'll have to understand the concept of Firefox profiling out here. Firefox profiling is only in case of Firefox, it is not in case of IE or Chrome. Okay, Firefox profiling, to understand that, I'll just tell you something. For example, suppose you are using a machine which is shared by 3 people, right? 3 people in your house, they use one machine, and that machine is shared by all 3 people. Now, when suppose your brother is using that PC, he wants that the Firefox which opens should have the settings corresponding to the settings which he did the bookmarks which he had made, and basically he wants his own customized Firefox. But when you open Firefox, you want that in Firefox only the bookmarks which you had done and only the settings which you had done in Firefox should be there, right? So everybody wants that they should have their own instance of Firefox. This is possible. Okay, this is possible. To do this, you need to close Firefox and you need to close this from File Exit menu first of all. Okay, this concept is known as profiling, right? Firefox profiling, and you will go to the Run menu and write just a minute. Yeah, you have to give this command firefox.exe hyphen profile manager. I'll give this command to everybody on WebEx chat. I missed your question, Satish. I'm sorry. For IE, Chrome, Safari, etc., different browser type, it will display or same browser as original. I cannot get your question, Satish. Can you just give it a little bit more elaboration? Like, can you just tell me what exactly you are wanting to ask? For IE, Chrome, Safari. No, no, no. Only thing is this kind of behavior, right? This kind of behavior is only encountered in case of Firefox that a fresh Firefox opens up, not in case of IE, Chrome or something, right? This profiling concept is only there in Firefox. Okay. Now, to understand the profiling concept, you go to Run menu and type firefox.exe hyphen profile manager, hit enter. You will get a window like this. Okay. In this window, you can click on create profiling. This is the default profile which is installed in your machine. I can also create a new profile and call it, say, Selenium, and click finish. So I've created a Selenium profile. If I start this profile, you see that a fresh Firefox has opened, right? So whenever I want to switch between the profiles, I just need to go to File Exit menu and go to my profile manager and select the type of Firefox you want to open, right? Now this is the Selenium profile Firefox. It's not got Firebug installed in it, nothing like that. And when Selenium opens a browser, a Firefox browser, it creates its own Firefox profile on this line and it opens it, and in the end of the script it destroys that profile. Okay, now I don't want Selenium to open its own default Firefox profile. I want Selenium to open the profile which I just created in my own machine, right? To do that, first of all, what I'll do is I'll install Firebug in this profile. Okay, I'll go to Google and I'll write download Firebug. Okay, and Firebug, you can go here and you can click on add to Firefox, and click on install, and restart. So now once it restarts, Firefox will be there. So now if you just a minute, yeah. If you look at Firebug over here, you will get Firebug, which will give you all the information. Similarly, on the top of that Firebug, you can install Firepath and all everything. Right now, I want to instruct my Selenium to open up this particular Firefox profile when it starts. Right, I create a new class for this. How to find XPath in IE and Chrome, I'll just talk about it after finishing this Firefox thing. I will talk about it. Now I'll open a new class called as Firefox Profiling. Okay. Now if I write over here WebDriver driver equals to new Firefox driver, then it will open a new Firefox profile by default. Okay, I want to open a specific profile which I created on my machine because some components or some add-ons have been installed in that profile or some settings are there, right? So to understand that, how to open it, you need to understand in Java language, you need to understand the concept of constructors. Okay. Now suppose I'll come back to Java. I'll tell you what the concept of constructors is. Then I'll go back to Selenium and talk about profiling. Right. Suppose I make a class over here called as laptop. Okay. In this laptop class, I make a variable called as string model. Okay, and say int number, right, or serial number. Okay, and I again make a new class called test laptop, right? Right. In out here in test laptop, I'll make the objects of the laptop class. I can write laptop L equals to new laptop, right? Say this is L1 and you write over here L1 dot model is model A, L1 dot serial number is this, and laptop L2 model is B. This is the serial number, right? Now for every object I create for the laptop class, I have to initialize the properties of that object separately, right? Now we are lucky that we just have 2 properties. What if there are 10 properties in the laptop class? Right, color, model, weight, this, that, configuration. So it will become tough, right, to create objects, first of all. Secondly, if I have to create more number of objects, say 10 objects, 20 objects, then I have to unnecessarily initialize them after creating them, right? So out here we use the concept of constructors in Java to overcome this issue. Now in your laptop.java, I'm going to make a constructor. What is a constructor? Constructor is something which initializes objects. Okay, constructor is something which will initialize your object. For example, the constructor is like this: UI public laptop. Okay, public laptop. The name of the constructor is same as the name of the class, and there is no return type in constructor. Constructor will never return you anything, and the name has to be same as the name of the class. Suppose inside this constructor I write inside laptop constructor. Okay, and I run this test laptop. If I run test laptop, you will have inside laptop constructor printed 2 times. Okay, you will have this printed 2 times, and out here this is printed 2 times because I am creating 2 objects. Whenever I write new laptop, the constructor will be called. If I write new laptop 3 times, right, then this constructor would be called 5 times because I am creating 5 objects over here. So constructor is something which is called by default when you create the object of the class. And I can have different forms of constructors. I can make one more constructor, public laptop, say string n comma int s. This laptop constructor will accept the model number and the string of and the serial number. This concept is known as overloading in Java. That is,